Hey, welcome to the Dave Martin Show. I'm so glad that you are with me today. I believe today's program is going to be something that really challenges your thinking. When I really began to understand this principle and use it in my life, it changed everything. A vision keeps you focused. So, how do you stay on vision? How do you stay focused? I'm going to talk about that today. My good friend Pat Williams, partner in the creation of the Orlando Magic. I remember when him telling me the story of when he first moved to Orlando. It's back in 1986. Tell you what, Orlando wasn't very much back in 1986. Hard to believe. I mean, Disney was growing, but the city, the skyline, what we see now as the skyline of Orlando wasn't then. The town itself was fairly small, and there was definitely no NBA basketball team. But Pat had this vision, and his task that year was to travel from coast to coast in Central Florida, from Tampa to Daytona Beach, selling season tickets for a team that didn't even exist in a town that no one really expected to even flourish. But he had a vision, and that vision was this team, the Orlando Magic. That vision kept him going. That vision kept him painting word pictures to anyone who would listen, and kept him centered on the idea he just knew with local support that would soon become a reality. Well, indeed, it did become a reality, because today the Orlando Magic is a successful franchise that's been around for, more than 25 years. I remember them starting back in the 90s. I mean, it was many playoffs. A vision keeps you focused. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew what he wanted to accomplish. And that focus, well, that's what will get you to the end zone. To maintain focus, sometimes we've got to trim away areas of our life that don't align with the vision of where we're going. We can get very distracted, and sometimes some things must end for new things to begin. One of my favorite books is called Necessary Endings. I want you to learn some things today on maybe how to have some necessary endings. Learn how to celebrate seasons. Learn how to celebrate endings. Some endings may be the door to a future that's even brighter than you could have ever imagined. I've found in business endings, they're often an absolute necessity for a turnaround to happen, or for growth to occur. You've seen football teams or sports teams where a necessary ending came and they got rid of a coach, and all of a sudden the team took off and began to flourish and began to grow. A necessary ending. Businesses, CEOs, to get to the next level and often to even sustain current levels of health, sometimes leaders have to shut down yesterday's good ideas, strategies, or involvements, maybe, in order to have all the resources and focus to take the organization into tomorrow. Sometimes it means employees. We saw that a lot with Jack Welch. Programs, whatever it may be, it's not easy. It's not always easy, and it's not always fun. I mean, even in my home, Christina and I, when we were trying to get out of debt years ago, I remember us cutting off our cable. Not because we didn't like cable. We liked cable. But I just needed those resources to buy a car. And that was much more important to me and my overall vision than watching some stuff on TV. Maybe for you, it'll be unplugging from some of your commitments that you have, some activities, maybe even some friendships. Doesn't necessarily mean they're bad, but I had some things that just took up time. Not that they were bad people. I'm like, I can't invest my time there because I need to invest my time over here. It's a necessary step, and I refer to it as pruning. Sometimes some things have to die, and, well, some things just have to be killed. But here's what it says. The Bible says it this way, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse number 1. There's an opportune time to do things, a right time for everything on the earth. Then it goes on, a time for birth and a time for death, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to destroy and a time to construct, to cry, another time to laugh, a time to lament, another time to cheer, to make love and a time to abstain. I don't know when that time would be, but a time to embrace and another time to part, a time to search and another to count your losses, a right time to hold on and another time to let go, a time to rip out, another time to mend, a time to shut up and another time to speak up. I mean, the scripture goes on and on. What we just read, it says that there's seasons in life, seasons for things to begin, and there's seasons for things to end. And that's just kind of how life works. And the scripture, if you focus on it, you'll see the prevalent role of endings. There's a time for this, but then there's a time for it to be over. Endings are not only a part of life, they are a requirement for thriving and for living professionally and personally. We're talking about thriving 25. Just being alive requires that we sometimes have to let go of things in which we were once invested. We have to uproot some things that we previously nurtured. We have to tear down some things maybe we built for an earlier time. Reframing, giving up, throwing away, tearing down, hating what we once cherished. All those things are necessary. Endings are the reason maybe that you're not married to your prom date. It's the reason, endings are the reason you're not working at your first job. I don't work at Taco Bell anymore. But without the ability to do endings well, we flounder, we stay stuck, and we fail to reach our goals. Maybe you have a green thumb. I don't have a good green thumb. I'm just, fake flowers is better for me. But maybe you're able to grow some lovely flowers, or you have a garden. My grandfather was really good at it. He'd plant vegetables and he was great at the garden. If you do, hey, hats off to you. You got a special talent. And I know it takes a lot of work, but I got to confess, growing any kind of plant's just never been one of my strengths. But I'm interested in how you do it. Some people are able to grow incredible flowers, beautiful gardens, and I love walking through beautiful gardens. But have you ever wondered how they get those large, award-winning vegetables in the garden? How they get those grand, beautiful blossoms in the garden? How does that happen? Why are some fruits so much bigger than other ones that are the same variety? I understand that the secrets to getting outstanding results is in the pruning the vines, pruning the trees. Pruning is the selective removal of certain parts of the plants. Why do people prune? Well, one is dead wood, dead parts, to remove the dead. Another reason people prune, the pruning takes place, is for shape, or maybe for increasing the yield or the quality of the fruit. Pruning is necessary. It's a necessary part of gardening, and I believe it's a really necessary action in life too. So today I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of pruning in your life. Pruning, cutting away, some of those areas, it'll be life-changing if you get a hold of this. And I bet you're already thinking of some things. You know what? I need to get rid of that. So three reasons for pruning. Pruning is done for health, it's done for shape, and it's done for focused productivity. So let's start with health. Cutting away the dead, the diseased branches. It's clearing away the unnecessary and the detrimental, so that what remains can really begin to flourish. And then we got pruning for shape. And that's removing anything that doesn't fit into the picture of what you want that shrub to look like or that tree to look like. I love the shrubbery at Disney World. You go to Disney World, they got trees cut out in the shape of bushes in the shape of Mickey Mouse or Beauty and the Beast. I mean, it's incredible. What they've done is they pruned that to have a certain shape. The vision was Mickey Mouse, and they cut away everything that wasn't part of the vision. You see where I'm going with this? It was an incredible display of how a bush could be pruned for a specific form. That's exactly what Michelangelo meant when he said, "I saw the angel in the marble and carved until I set him free." And then the last thing, pruning for focused productivity. What that is cutting back branches, even though they may be healthy. Jack Welch would always get rid of the bottom 10%, even the bottom 10% of employees of all the businesses that GE owned, even if they were producing. If they were in the bottom 10%, he'd get rid of it. Why? So that the resources of the tree could be concentrated. So the resources of the organization could be concentrated on what remains and cause it to grow even bigger. Pruning a fruit tree is a great example. Let's think about a peach tree. Limited amount of energy that each peach tree has for producing fruit. This is based on the size of the tree and the amount of sunlight and water and fertilizer that's available to that tree. So if a tree's not pruned, its energy will be equally divided among the hundreds of buds that the tree produces, and then it will grow hundreds of small peaches. But when a peach tree is pruned, branches, even with healthy buds, are cut off. This reduction causes the tree, now the energy of the tree causes all the energy on the buds that remain, which now produces dozens of large, juicy peaches. So pruning can be very helpful in life in the same exact way. You already prune a lot of areas in your life. Think about cleaning out your house. You ever cleaned out your office? I need to do that right now. We're getting ready to make a move. And in our offices, I've got to clean out some stuff. You evaluate, you reduce, you cut. There's a great quote by William Morris that said, "Have nothing in your home that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful." Have nothing in your home that, boy, I can think of some things in my home I don't find to be useful or beautiful. So prune away everything else. We prune our words. Come on. How many things have popped in your head you're glad you didn't say? Imagine the hundreds of small, unnecessary statements that come up, but you prudently don't say it out loud. This wisdom, this conventional wisdom on reducing our speech is one of my favorites. If you propose to speak, listen, always ask yourself, is it true? Is it necessary? Most time it's not necessary. And is it kind? Here's the primary factor with effective pruning. You have to have a vision of what you want your life to look like. Let's think for a minute about your life. Think about your business or your career. What do you want it to look like? What do you want your future? What do you want your life to look like in 5 years from now? You got to have a goal and you have to have a plan. Otherwise, how will you know what's an obstacle and what's beneficial? And so many people just go through life trying to get to the next day. We'll see what happens next. And because they don't know what's going to be beneficial to them and what's going to be an obstacle to them. And so they don't, well, go back and watch our last podcast on adaptability. You can find out how change is beneficial to you. But let's move to this understanding that I'm going to believe you have a vision for your life. That's why you're with me. You have a vision. That's why I'm your success coach. That's why you subscribe and you're a part of our podcast and part of the family, because you have a vision. And a lot of times in life, we got to prune for the same reason that plants prune. Remember we said we prune for health, prune for shape, prune for focused productivity. So when you prune for health, you clear away all the unnecessary and the detrimental things so that what remains can flourish. You remove activities from your life. I used to do this all the time, but now I don't do that anymore. I don't have time for that. People who are keeping you maybe from growing. you know what? That relationship's not useful anymore. It pulls me down. People will add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Sometimes we get caught up in other people's plans for our life. But when that happens, we find ourselves spending more time and resources on other people's goals and dreams than we do on our own. And that's when it becomes necessary to do some pruning. So ask yourself, is this activity that I'm doing producing anything positive in my life? Is it moving me toward my goal or toward my own goals? I was talking to a guy as a business owner, and someone was in his organization. When they left his organization, they said, well, you don't hang out with us anymore. He goes, well, your vision's different than mine now. I need to spend time with people that are building the same business, growing the same thing that I'm growing, moving the same direction that I'm moving. I have a church. I don't have time to hang out with everyone that's a part of someone else's church or somewhere else. So I don't have time. I need to, if I have time, I'm going to spend it with people that are building what I'm building. And so it moves me. What's moving me forward? Start today by making a list of all your activities. Okay, here's something real practical. Make 2 columns, okay? In the first column, put your goals, your responsibilities, where you're headed. The second column, put everything else. Everything. It lists all your activities, right? If you really want to see a clear picture, write down how much time you spend each week doing each of those activities. Now, look over your list, right? Look over your list. Did you find that maybe you're spending a lot of your time working on other people's dreams, or spending your time in areas that don't matter at all to you, or matter at all, like 6 hours binge watching Yellowstone or whatever it may be, playing video games? Are there some areas that you could prune? What if you invested that time in yourself? What about the people in your life? Are they going where you're going? Are they doing what you're doing? Ask yourself, does this person encourage me, promote me? Does this person add to my life or subtract from my life? Does she make me better or does she not? Your relationships will make or break you. And I know some of you are thinking of family members right now. You think, I'd like to prune. You can't prune your family members, but you can just hug them at Christmas. You don't have to hang out with them. You got family of origin and you got family of choice. And so you got to make some choices. So before you're too hasty, make sure that your pruning plans line up with your core values, right? And make sure that you are positioned correctly. Do you add to their lives? Do you make them better when you're around them? Are you adding value? It's never a one-way street. So don't get caught up in this self-centered vortex. You're not doing nothing for me. No, it's not all about you. So don't get me wrong in what I'm saying there. But it's vitally important that you do have people standing beside you that are for you, that believe in you. So if you're spending a lot of your time with people who bring you down, you'll never be able to do that, who create problems for you, who are not encouraging you or promoting you, then maybe you should think about pruning some of those relationships. Cut back on the time that you give to the person who drains you. You ever had someone, they walk in like, oh, this is going to be a drain, right? Maybe you say, I'm related to them. You can love them. Like I said, hug them at Christmas time. Just, you don't have to hang out with them. Aside from your personal relationships, think about people in your organization. Think about people in your business that work with you, work for you. Are they producing? Are they beneficial? Or have they become deadwood that's taken up resources that would be better spent somewhere else? Second thing, when we prune for shape. You take away the areas that do not fit the picture of the vision. Remember I talked about the Disney shrubbery there? They cut out everything that doesn't look like Mickey Mouse. Are you spending a lot of your time on social media? Spend hours a day. I took someone's phone the other day. I said, let me look. I can see how much of your day you spend on social media, on Facebook, on this. It tells you right on your phone. If you wonder, you'd probably be surprised at how much time you spend playing video games. Perhaps you prefer just talking on the phone or watching TV. They're not, listen, playing video games is not wrong. Checking your Facebook or your Instagram is not wrong. But some of this time may need to be pruned so that you can create a life, a shape that matches your vision, because all you've got is time. Time is currency. So how you invest the moments of your day, there's only 24 hours in a day. Rich people don't have more time than poor people. Everyone has the same amount of time. It's just what they do with their time. What they do with their time. That's that. When you get to the end of the day, you can look back at how you invested your 24 hours. And that's why you are where you are today. If you want to be successful, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you won't reach your goals by playing video games and watching movies all night. If your vision is to have a great marriage, a great relationship, then you're going to have to let go of some TV time and spend some conversation time, working together towards something that you want. You got to prune and cut away the areas of your life that do not fit your picture so that you can create the life of your dreams, the picture that you see for your future. And then the last one, we prune for focused productivity. You're cutting away good things so that your resources can be spent on the best things. What's the enemy of great? We're wanting to be great. Good is the enemy of great. That's a good thing, but it's not a great thing. So decide what is great in your life and take anything that's not great and prune away the other activities, prune away the other people, even though they may be good, so that your focus, your time, your money, your energy is all spent on what is great. And that is the key to a successful life. It's not easy. Pruning's not easy, but it's necessary. It'll lighten your load. It helps direct you. It makes you more focused. It makes you much more effective, much more profitable, and much more valuable. So I want you to think about today. What areas of your life, what things in your life could you get rid of? Maybe it's something simple. Maybe you start with something simple like your closet. I got some things I could prune away in my closet. Every time I go in there, I get frustrated. What am I gonna wear? We were talking earlier about just like Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk. He wears the same. I swear every day he's wearing the same thing when I see him. I've never noticed his fashion. But boy, I noticed that he's the wealthiest man in the world or whatever. So maybe you see some people focus so much on their outfits and fashion, but they're just in debt from buying a bunch of clothes, but they've never accomplished anything. So what do you need to prune away? Well, maybe I need to prune some stuff away. Just wear a black shirt and black jeans every day. They don't have to think about that. That'd save me a lot of time. I could put that time into something else. What's good in my life? It's not taking me to great. Maybe I need to stop spending my time and energy in those places. So what do I need to remove so that I can put more energy and focus on creating something greater? Think about those areas of your life and make the changes that you need to make. Hey, thank you for joining me today on the Dave Martin Show. I hope it's helped you. I hope maybe you know someone that you're like, I know someone else who needs to hear this. Share it. Share it with them. Send it to someone else. Put it on your social media. Don't waste a bunch of time on there, but take enough time to share this on there. All right? And like, subscribe. And I would love to hear your comments. Those comments, I'm going to read them. I promise I will. So I'd love to hear your comments as well. And I will see you next time right here on the Dave Martin Show.